Hi traders, we take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial and the stock Caterpillar as they're sensitive to US-China trade talks. Now talks have been going so well and the US have now hiked tariffs, although talks are set to resume later today. So there's a glimmer of hope that a deal can be made, but the reality is we need to brace ourselves for a no-deal outcome. Either way, we expect a binary effect on markets once talks are over. Now volatility has clearly been rising and the VIX has seen its largest 4-day range since December, and this could easily rise further if no deal is struck today. But let's look at these two outcomes, starting with the Dow Jones futures. Now, optimists would point towards a bullish hammer on the daily chart and that a potential higher low has formed above these lows. And by all means, we'd expect this to rip higher if a deal is made today. At a minimum, we want it to break above the 2600 area, which takes above the hammer high. However, if no deal is struck, we'd expect heavy selling pressure as traders aren't likely to want to hold longs over the weekend if talks are still ongoing. Remember, equities tend to get the escalator up and the lift down. And when markets are in panic mode, it can easily make a mockery of technical levels. But we can see the MACD is pointing lower and a large bearish divergence has formed with these peaks. And as these talks are essentially bellwether for global growth, perhaps we're looking at a much larger top. And also take note that this year's high is beneath the 2018 highs. As for Caterpillar, we'll begin with the optimistic reaction with the trade deal in place. Using these regression bands, you could argue it's oversold relative to price action this year, as it's trading beneath a lower 2-standard deviation trendline. There's also a bullish hammer, which closed back inside the lower Keltner band yesterday, but this might not be the kind of long you want to hold as a punt before the close, because this would surely gap lower on Monday if no deal is struck. If you're looking at the short side, we can see a bearish trend on the 4-hour chart, although it does appear oversold over the near term with the hammer trading beneath the lower Keltner band. But if we saw a technical bounce, traders could look to fade into moves beneath 134 with a view for it to break to new lows. And also notice that the MACD points lower, is beneath zero and forming a larger bearish divergence with price action. And given Caterpillar is so sensitive to global growth and therefore these trade talks, the downside could be quite epic if no deal is confirmed and both sides continue to hike tariffs.